Yeah, man, I been wanting to do this for a long time,
Me too.
and we're at the Frying Pan Tower. This is Richard Neal. Richard, thanks for having us up here.
Oh, I tell
Um,
you, it's been quite the adventure, hasn't it?
it has. I've learned a lot. This place is incredible. I've been following it for years. I love. I think everybody knows. They love the coffee thing in the morning.
No, I
You
tell
know,
you,
I wake up in the morning and I watch that. I'm just like, man, that looks so peaceful.
it was really good at about 3:45 this morning.
Yeah,
It was one of those.
that
I
was
got so much to do. I'll just jump into it. So,
3:45 this morning. I woke up on
yeah.
the helipad with the wind honking in my face and the flagpole just bam, 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 bam
Oh
all night
yeah, I got to
long.
fix that. Yeah, okay. So then the other night when we just put up some of the stanchions, the guardrails around the top, and there was one that was loose, and not last night, night before, it was just bang, 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 bang. I was like, "Ooh." I don't know if anyone else hears this, but if they do, they're up there going,
Well, I took your advice. I put
oh gosh,
3 chairs around my bed
yeah,
to try to
kind of
stop
blocked
the
it off.
wind. Yeah,
And you
yeah.
know why I want to make that little windbreaker, right?
Well, the wind switched on me. Oh yeah, the tent you were talking
Yeah,
about.
that'd be cool.
So
Something that's pseudo hurricane-ish proof.
yeah.
Yeah.
But so Richard, let's tell everybody.
Mm.
Everybody asks, "What's the Frying Pan Tower?" They always, "Is it an
Yeah.
oil rig? What is it?"
Sure looks like one, doesn't it?
Yeah, but explain what
Yeah.
it is.
Well, it was originally stuck in here just because we didn't have GPS. We didn't have cell phones. We had not gone to the moon. None of that stuff. In 1964, they wanted to keep some of the boats off the Frying Pan Shoals, which is 30 miles long and gets
Yeah.
stupid shallow. So having this out here literally is a lighthouse. We call it a light station for some reason. It followed on to over 100 years of a light boat out here.
Yeah.
And it really just, hey guys, if you see us, go around us because otherwise you're going to go into the sand and
Yeah.
that's not cool.
Well, I mean, they found out during the war too, right? Everybody was
Yeah.
running aground. They
That's
call it
right.
like the graveyard of the Atlantic, I believe.
I believe you're correct. There is supposedly about 1,100 shipwrecks just along this area.
And when was it built?
This is actually put in the ground and turned on officially November 24th of 64, which means this year it turned 60.
Awesome.
Yeah.
And then when they left it, and when was it?
You know, it's kind of a
90s?
mixed bag. It was like 78, 79.
GPS came out.
And they put solar panels.
Yeah.
They were like all of this big and had 12 volts. Woo. And you know what? I've got some back there that still work.
Oh yeah,
The original ones. It's incredible.
original
It's-
generators still back there.
Yeah. I think, probably they must have paid like, $2,000-3,000 for that little solar panel.
Yeah.
Which now we have these humongous ones that have 400 watts each. They're like, yeah, $200.
Yeah.
It's nothing. So, yeah, and they put it out here, and they put a bunch of young guys out here without any internet and with just over-the-air TV. And so they played a lot of pool. They had ping pong tables. They caught a lot of fish.
And you got some incredible
Oh.
pictures too. I've shared them before on social media,
That's
but
nuts, isn't it?
but yeah, man, no, this place. So, and then the next biggest question is, how the hell did you end up with it?
God, that's a great question. So think of the odds.
Oh, wait, can I sorry to interrupt? Can we go back to your background? Like, what did you do before all this? Because you weren't really lived on the water that much, right? You were.
Okay, so I grew up in Tulsa, Oklahoma. There's not a lot of water. They call them tanks, ponds. And I'd been to Galveston, and it was dirty and muddy water, and there were these stingy things. And I was like, why would anyone want to be here, right? And then my family went to a vacation in Hawaii in 68. Yeah, I'm old. In 68 for a couple of weeks, I was like, this is awesome. I love it. And as we were flying back into Tulsa, Oklahoma, I can still see out the window and go, I don't know why we live here. I really don't know why we live here. I mean, I love Oklahoma. I mean, that's where my roots are. But I'd like to have my roots stay there and my life be here.
Yeah.
So I got out here. I had not been in the ocean on a boat fishing. I didn't have a boat, all that. But it was 08 when we had the financial crisis.
Yep.
And then 09 was, hey, maybe they're going to sell something and I'll go online because I'm a computer guy now. So you said, what's my background? Well, that's a tough one, isn't it?
But yeah, like, because with that being said, I'm so impressed, and everybody out here is too, like, how amazing you're a very, very good waterman. And besides that, I mean, safety is like your number one priority. And I think it's unbelievable what you do out here with
fingers.
that.
Okay.
Yeah, no, I'm serious though. And like,
yeah.
And you didn't even really have that background. You picked it up fast here. And there's nobody else better that could take care of this place and run it other than you. I swear. I mean, you can literally do everything here.
Well, I appreciate that.
Yeah.
One of the things that I did learn by being around like guys like you is that there are skill sets that you don't naturally know.
Yeah.
I mean, most people would not realize that you can drown on the ocean for a variety of reasons in less than 30 seconds. Mm-hmm. And if you don't recognize those events getting ready to come up, like the time I jumped fully suited, all got closed boots on, didn't have a life jacket or anything. I was just going to jump in. It's a beautiful day, swim over to this big old boat, and the wind and the current moved the boat. Then I couldn't get to it. And then the waves were getting bigger. They were 5 foot. Now I'm 3 feet under the water going, this is going to be a really dumb way to die when I have all these life jackets that I didn't want to get wet.
Yeah.
You learn things.
No, you do.
Yeah.
So you learn from your mistakes. It's kind of like the background of the qualified captain, right?
Yeah. When I started seeing what your stuff was, of course, I didn't know you from Adam. And it was just, that is so, I never thought about bow riding as being, just hanging your legs off. And you're like, there's a prop back there and it will eat you. I was like,
well,
yeah. Geez.
This is, I didn't expect myself to be where I am now doing this right with you right now. But
you got pushed into it, didn't you?
Yeah. And I don't know. That's our goal, is to show people like this is the first podcast I've ever done. Like, so we're kind of hoping to bring people on that have been.
Well, this will be the best one you've ever done.
Well, yeah, but I think it will be. I mean, look where we are. But no, I think if I can bring those kind of people in, to be honest, and show them like, this is shit. My leg got cut off because of this, and please, guys, we've learned from this, and this could be you. So
don't make the mistake someone else already did, right?
But
so my background was. Not realizing until I was a senior that I had ADD. I didn't even know I didn't. It's kind of ironic. Mm-hmm. I studied and learned many different things. Everything from a draftsman on the.
You know literally everything. I mean.
No, I know I don't. That's the fun part. When you learn how to learn, then you're really at the right spot. Because like, I don't know how to do chemistry. Okay. Let me just do it. They used to make TV shows where the guy would like, man, he'd know it. Yeah. Now we have YouTube. It's crazy. So draftsman, a chemist, mechanic, engineer, electrician, carpenter, run a couple small companies, did computer science stuff for a while.
That's what I thought.
Physics, studied engineering, couldn't pass, remember? Mathematics, couldn't pass. Computer science. And once I finally realized after 6 different colleges, I didn't get kicked out. I just went to a bunch of them. That maybe something was a little different. But it gave me that jack of all trades.
You are a jack of all trades.
Master of none. The last part of the sentence we all love. Is yet better than a master of one. Yeah. So I do get to learn from some brilliant people. I mean, I watch your channel just so I can go and like, I didn't know about that rule. Which side's the green and the red go on
That's
again?
What people tell us all the time. They're like, man, I didn't know this kind of shit could happen on a boat.
And it's fun to learn when it's not you getting hurt.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So
yeah, it's been cool.
What was I going to ask you? Back to how you got this though. Like, I mean, I never really asked you the full story. Like, was it a bidding war? Was it? Tell everybody about it though. I mean,
well, if you can imagine that again, financial crisis in America. Me going, I remember as a kid looking in the back of comic books and they had buy a surplus Jeep, $5, and that stuck with me all these years later. Let's see what the government has to offer. Sure enough, there's some websites for that. And one's this ginormous warehouse, whatever, next. Bunch of FEMA trailers, whatever, next. Strange box on legs in the water. It's like, what was this thing? And, so they listed it for auction, and I convinced my sweet ex-wife that I wanted to bid on it and put a deposit.
This was all online?
All online. I put a $5,000 deposit on it. It's like getting ready. Nobody's going to know. I've never heard of this thing. I'm living in Charlotte. And before I can even hit the enter button, it goes ding, 27,000, ding, 36, 48. I'm like, it hasn't even been 2 hours. What's going on? And over a course of a month, the bidding actually went to $515,000.
What?
Yeah, that was in 009.
Who are you battling against?
Well, it's funny. I wasn't bidding because I thought this is insane.
It's stupid.
The actual description was, as is, where is. No inspection allowed.
And you could become liable, potentially. If something were,
they didn't have that in the fine print either.
Yeah.
But yeah, absolutely. So the guy that won it, there was 3 guys. One of them's very well known down here at Ocean Isle Fishing Center, Rube McMullen. Great guy, good family. And he tells me to this day he's so grateful that he didn't win it.
That's what I heard.
He's a good businessman. So in 2010, The guy that did win it did actually get it. He's like, I've got to inspect it. And they're like, you can't. He said, I'm not buying it. And they're like, well, keep your 5,000 and do it again. Not realizing they should have got him and reeled that fish in.
Yeah.
So they put it up for a sealed bid auction in 2010. And some poor fool was the only bidder.
How much?
11,000. 11,000. And my girls hadn't hit my wallet. 262. So I bid 11,262. I mailed a 20% check. I went out of town on business, and when I called the government guy, I said, yeah, he's a unique character. 35 years in government, you're a unique character.
Yeah.
And I said, Lou, I gotta know. Yeah. Lou, who won? Well, Richard, don't you know? You did. And I'm like, Lou, you're joking. He goes, well, no, Richard, I'm with the government. We don't joke.
Yeah.
And ended up, they wanted a little bit more. But $85,000 from a friend of mine who believed in me. I don't know why. I just talked to him the other day.
You told me this story. Yeah.
You can imagine, let's go to the bank. You got good credit.
Yeah.
You got a house. And you say, I'm going to buy this place, 85 grand. Great. I've known the bank for 20 years. Hey, John, I want to buy this. Oh, that's fantastic, Richard. What's the address? Well.
Yeah, how do you explain that?
It's latitude and longitude. What? Okay. Well, what are the comps on it? Well, they hadn't actually sold any before. Well, what the heck? Well, okay. Well, let's go. What's inspection say? Well, they don't allow you to do an inspection. Sorry. It's like, are you out of your mind?
Well, you're outside of.
We're slightly outside America.
Yeah, it's by 6 miles.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So tell me, what does that actually mean? What can we do, and what can you not do?
Well, it took me a while to realize it, but you could. Anything that your poor little brain thinks of, just about. No, you still can't kill people. You cannot dump hazardous waste, and you cannot alter the marine fisheries. I can't put a giant net up, things like that.
Yeah.
But yes, I could have a casino, offshore international bank.
Gamble. Yeah.
Gambling. Yeah. Brothel.
Grow weed.
Yeah, sure could. Yeah, you could do all that. Or you could just keep it simple
or do what you're doing right now.
Just honoring the coasties that built this place.
Well, and restoring it, I think, is awesome because it's not only is it a piece of maritime history, and there's not many of these. I think there's only one other one, Diamond Shoal.
There's two others in various states of repair. So now I have something to compare to when you don't fix it, and one that's fairly similar to ours.
Well, I thought there's Diamond Shoals. What's the third one?
Chesapeake.
Oh, okay, I forgot about that.
It's about 13 miles offshore, so they have a few more regulations. But
does somebody own that one?
Yeah, guys that called me, and it's so funny. They're getting ready to bid on it, and I had one, so they're like, Mr. Neal, can you tell us about whether we should buy this or not? And I said, gentlemen, that's two guys, are you crazy or stupid? And they were really offended, and I'm like, no, seriously. If you're crazy, you're the right guys.
Yeah.
But if you're stupid, don't do it. You'll kill yourself or kill someone else. It's a bad thing.
Damn right.
But you have to be a little crazy to even think you can do this, right?
Yeah.
There's no manual. There's no how-to. None of that. So
when you got it, your first day up here, how'd it look?
Gosh. Well, every window in here had a piece of stainless steel that was just sandwiched over and pop riveted on. It has bullet dents in it for people who are shooting it. They'd go past this old abandoned place and they just shot the hell out of it.
It's incredible how much work you guys have done.
Well, you don't have any holes in the wall.
So what else though? How are the bedrooms, the kitchen, and
well, there's some pictures. I can give them to you to toss up online.
Yeah, I'll put it on Instagram.
Think of a frat party gone crazy 20 years ago and left in that state.
Budweiser cans and
shit
like that.
Back then it was a Coors, not Coors Light.
Yeah, Coors.
Coors can.
Coors is good.
One in the room, close to me, Oklahoma.
Not Coors Light, Coors.
Coors.
Yeah.
And they had an old briefcase in one of the back rooms, and in that, right next to it was that ashtray.
No way.
With a half a cigars.
That's pretty cool.
Sitting in it with a gray coat of dust over everything. And in this old style briefcase, there's a 1972 Hustler magazine.
That's awesome. I was about to say, was there any old newspapers laying around?
Oh yeah, I still got some actually, if you want to see them. But I grabbed that Hustler like a kid, and I was like, I can't look at that. Somebody's grandma, dang.
Yeah.
But there was also a pair of Levi 501s that I actually put on. I was like, dang, I wore them once. Did work around here, put them and did the laundry, and they disintegrated. They were 35 years old.
So did you just go full like, okay, we got to gut this place?
Oh, think about it. I'm still working full time. Got kids ready to go to college.
Yeah,
I can come out here maybe once every couple months.
well, you're still working full time.
I don't have a boat.
Yeah,
How old were you? One.
When you go?
Oh, well, that was 14 years ago, and I'm 64 this year, so I'd have been 50. I actually got the tower, and a month later, after my 50th, came out here.
Okay.
The first night, we hadn't taken off anything. We had no electricity. There's no running water.
Yeah.
So it's dark and dirty, and everything's dumbled everywhere. And we just took, the little Walmart candles and put them in the corners to be able to walk around in here.
Well, and forget all that. Like, just getting here.
Oh, yeah.
Getting here is a hassle.
Well.
And also, once you're here, you might be stuck here because if the weather changes, you're screwed.
Well, you can imagine, captains, you know how they are about their boats and their insurance and all that. It took me about 2 weeks to find a captain who was willing to, I'll take you out there. I'm like, no, I'm getting on the tower. And like, no, you're not. There's no ladder anymore.
Yeah, how'd you get up?
Well, my mama, if she was here, she'd say he was born climbing.
Yeah. Oh, we can tell. If anybody's been following him, you see her live.
I'm hanging off of things. But it had old-fashioned, the bent metal handrails that rotted off from 15 feet down to the water. But there was just this much of them sticking out, just that much. So he got kind of close, and you just grab a hold of that, and that's how I would climb up for quite a while. But the very first time we got here,
screw that. I'm sorry.
First time we got here, I took a half of an extension ladder, and I took some conduit and made a little curved hook on it. We came up like a fireman and hooked it on. And I just climbed up, scooted my butt along the pipes, and was about halfway across, and was like, I think this is about an inch thick of bird crap.
Yeah, I've seen it coming down. I've been out here how thick it gets.
Yeah.
But yeah, man, I mean,
that was wild.
I talk so highly about it because I really am impressed. This is only my second time up here. And
feels like you've been here a bunch.
I know, right? Me too. It feels like
it's a good thing.
I feels like I'm meant to be here.
And once you've been here for just a short period of time, you feel like you're in a home.
Oh, yeah.
I don't feel like I'm in a rickety old thing. I mean, if we were in a category 1, this would be it. You ready?
Yep.
Not even that.
Well, and that's the number one. I get people ask me all that time. They're like, does that place shake around? I'm like,
no, it just feels like if you had too many to drink.
Yeah. Tell them about the legs though. How the main legs are how far into the bottom of the ocean?
Well, they picked up a structure, the whole base, and they set it on the seafloor.
Yeah.
And then they picked up 100-foot pipes, slid them on the inside like a straw in a straw, and they hydraulically rammed 100 foot into the earth, and then they stuck another one on that, rammed it down, stuck a third one on it, welded together, rammed it down. So the legs are sitting on the seafloor, and they are into the earth 296 feet. Almost a football field.
They're not going anywhere.
And they filled them with cement.
Yeah.
And if you go down, you look at them as you're scuba diving and swimming around there, they look good because they're all covered with barnacles. If you scrape off the barnacles, a few rusty areas, but no scouring. No. So there's no issues with things just falling apart. I would not purposefully be out here for a Cat 5, but I really personally would not have an issue with a 4. I wouldn't bring people out here because that's reckless. But if we got stuck out here, it's a different thing.
Tell me, I know you've stayed out here through quite a few. What's the scariest one? Well, not scariest. What was the
scariest one was the first one because I didn't do it intentionally.
Oh, so you're just like, oh shit, I'm stuck.
Yeah, I had one volunteer and 3 of my kids, and we were supposed to
Your kids right here?
Yeah, I had 3 of them. We were coming out. We knew that the storm was coming. We had a helicopter. It was coming to get. Oh, there's so many. That might have been Arthur.
Arthur?
Yeah. Arthur was pretty good. The big buoy out there, like 12 foot tall, 6 foot wide, and has a 12,000 pound weight. It went walking past us during that storm. I mean, slogging along, picking up the anchor and moving it, going towards Wilmington.
Well,
it was nuts.
Another thing too, we were talking about this last night. Like, just because people probably may not have heard of any of these storms because they don't hit land, but they'll smoke this place.
Yeah, we are in a very natural place for this is either let's test the tower or future wind turbines.
Yeah.
It'll be very challenging on them.
Yeah. So everybody remembers the one. I think was it Matthew?
Yeah, Matthew was a big one.
Tell us about Matthew.
Richard's
a legend.
No.
Yeah, you are. That was hilarious on the news.
Oh, that was so bad. It was the
Why
rain
was it bad?
The rain was hitting this, and it was just wind and rain. There's nothing in the air, right? There's no sticks, no trees, there's no stop signs. Remember that one?
Oh, yeah.
So I'm working, trying to keep things dry and move electronics. And we're right at the eye. We're in the eye of the storm. So the winds from, rather than being 110 to whatever, with gusts to 130, it was just like 55 or so.
It's incredible how it does that.
And I went up to the top of the helipad, lay down in a chair, kicked back and fell asleep. I didn't think anything about it, but I didn't realize that CNN had gotten control of the camera and they zoomed in like, this guy's taking a nap.
You said?
Yeah.
So you had millions and millions of people watching this.
It was funny because I'm just taking a nap on the helipad. They're like, he's in the middle of a hurricane taking a nap.
No,
I was like, I'm tired. I can't help it.
It was great. I remember watching it. It was live. And the camera was rotating. They're talking about, I don't even think the news knew you were up there at the time. And then it hits you and you're just relaxing. It's cozy up there. I slept great last night.
It is. Yeah, I see. People, they're like, this is the best sleep I ever had. And I'm like, yeah. It's a good wind, and it'll gently rock you to sleep. But, No, salt air is really good too,
Yeah, oh yeah.
Helps your
sinuses. And you showed me last night the salt that you guys are making with the water too.
Yeah,
that's pretty cool.
Bring the water up, purify it, dry it out, and it's strange to be able to use the sunlight to create the light, use the rainwater to purify it with the Culligan folks to make drinkable water.
Yeah, well,
you got it right there.
And
it's nuts.
Everything's reverse osmosis filter too.
Absolutely, yeah. So it's cleaner than I get in Wilmington.
And I mean, tell everybody else. I mean, it's very, very nice up here. More than people. Everybody's like, oh, is it just a dump and moldy? I'm like, no, you got satellite Wi-Fi.
Yeah, well, we did have satellite, but Elon made that challenging. So we engineered our own dish to shore, and then got the WWAY guys to allow us to put a dish past the curve of the earth.
Yeah.
So they let this. Well, I am certified now, so that's good. But they let me go up a couple thousand feet there and here and aim these two dishes, and we turned it on, and by aligning it 56 miles away, bing, we get Google.
It's awesome. I've coming out here and diving. I mean, on a safety standpoint too, you can communicate really quickly and easily, and and that's another important thing about the tower. I mean, how you relay, radio all to the U.S. Coast Guard all the time.
Yeah, we've got a phone on the wall where FAA can just hit a button in the control tower and it rings. Mm-hmm. Coast Guard guys and us, I was just there this last week showing them some of our safety tools that we have out here. We've been coming out here for 14 years, and we've been really lucky to help save a few lives. And I realized over time, it's fun to fix this thing. It's great to have people come out, but the real thing is, obviously, we don't need GPS. What we need is eyes and ears out here to make it so if a guy's in the boat, he can just pick up his phone and make a call. And we toss that out free. There's no charge for getting the internet. Right. It's like we'd rather be safe. There's right there.
A foreign one?
No. That's one of the volunteers right there.
Is it? Yeah, and that's another thing that's amazing how many people volunteer to help this place, because it really is I'd say priority number one, and the main reason besides it just being a beautiful piece of history, but it really does save lives. It's proven time and time again. I mean, missing divers, all the situations that happen, relaying transmissions to the U.S. Coast Guard, right. I mean,
well, I think boats sinking, boats on fire, divers in distress, people with heart attacks.
What's the scariest one you like?
The scariest one is when I was on a charter boat out here with 4 or 5 people, including a gentleman from MIT coming out to do research, and that boat caught on fire and we sank. And we had to swim over to a boat that happened to be close by in 58-degree water. Oof, that was a little bit.
I mean, you don't have much time in 58-degree water. You can get
you can make it for just a little bit, but you can't. The biggest thing out here, and this is true in life in general, if you panic, either you get hurt or someone else gets hurt. Absolutely. To have a calm viewpoint of I've thought about it, we've talked about it, a dive plan if you're scuba diving, a safety plan if you're stuck. Here we go. Look at that. We're sitting at the table. What am I wearing?
Yep.
A little personal locator beacon.
Yep.
And I tell people, they call them accidents because they're not something you're going to do.
I always tell people on social media when they say, just prepare for the worst. Because anything, if it's going to happen, it's going to happen on the water. And you're not going to, there's nobody really out there to save you.
You prepared for the worst?
No. I mean, I don't know.
We're not talking
define the worst.
Oh, I thought we were talking politics.
Yeah, I was going to say that's a whole nother topic. But no, anything on the water. I mean, just from my few years towing boats,
Oh, that's right. You did that.
Yeah.
So did we do the jet ski okay? We pulled it back all right? Did you say?
I guess still got to tow that back later.
I don't know. At least it's at land, so.
Towing jet skis suck.
Yeah, I would assume so.
Oh,
well, on that boat, it was so slow, so.
Yeah.
All right, guys, this week's episode is brought to you by Turtlebox. Turtlebox is becoming the best waterproof and Bluetooth speaker in the industry. They are basically indestructible. You can throw them in the water. You can run them over with your car. I bring it everywhere. Besides just the boat, I have it on the beach. I have it working out at the house. They freaking crank. I'm telling you guys, the best speaker in the industry. So check them out.
Yeah, but what about the story too? This one was crazy. You weren't here, but there was a diver that was missing, and he correct me if I'm wrong. He climbed up. He was able to fight the current, climb up here, and you just so happened to leave it open, right?
Yeah, it was a really good lesson for me to learn, and that was, we had all gone, and I almost always lock the hatch.
Yeah.
Because it's like, hey, don't want anyone to break in. I didn't this time. I went down to the boat, didn't lock it. We were heading back. I'm like, oh, well, that's okay. And a gentleman was out here diving with his buddy on the boat with his first mate, apparently being an actual mate. And so they weren't paying attention, drifted off a mile or 2 or 3. So he was over here by the Captain Greg Mickey.
Did the fog pick up? Was that what it was?
No. Okay. No, the captain just drifted off. Okay. He wasn't paying attention. Boat was gone. He pops up. He's got a leak in his BCD.
Oh, shit.
And he's only got like maybe 500 PSI. He's like, what am I going to do? Down current for him just happened to be the tower. He drifted right to the leg, swam to it, and was able to get on the ladder, but he didn't want to try and climb out with all that gear. So he actually dropped his gear to the bottom there.
Smart.
Stuck his fins in the bottom of the ladder, climbed up. It was open, came inside, used the Marine Band radio right there.
Yep.
Like, Scott, where are you? Scott's like, oh my God, I don't even see the tower, and came back and got him.
But you, like you said, that was a lesson for you because
it made me realize we need to have a diver's platform about 20 feet up where you could come up there. If you're in distress or your boat's having issues and we're not here, I want you to be able to come up there, open a stainless steel cabinet, an emergency locator, a Marine Band radio, MRE, something to keep you warm, water, a way to be safe. I may not lock it. Don't pay attention to that part. But if you had to come up here, the worst thing that would happen to us is you might cause problems up here. The worst thing that could happen is if a person couldn't get in and needed help.
Yeah.
So,
no, that's huge. I mean, I feel like a missing dive. This is a big dive community here. The diving's incredible.
Yeah, both scuba and free diving.
I mean, if you can look over the tower, you guys can see the bottom.
Yeah, it's 50 foot of water, give or take. And I didn't realize it at the time, but we have lots of frequented free divers and scuba divers that come around here because it's very fascinating.
It's right unbelievable.
Now,
I love diving.
Probably have about anywhere from 5 to 15 sand tigers underneath us right now.
Yeah.
And they're just hanging out.
I've seen
they're beautiful.
Literally everything here, from tarpon. You got huge hogfish. I've seen tiger sharks. There's been a couple great whites coming through here.
Yeah, we got them on camera.
Spiny lobster.
Oh yeah, lots of big spinies.
Pompano.
Yeah, don't give away all our secrets. Our spinies. No, spinies, look, if you don't know what a spiny lobster is, it's a lobster, doesn't have the big claws, and it's got kind of big spines.
They're huge.
And
they're the ones you get here. I've got one that was like 11, 12 pounds.
Yeah, we get this. We average about 8 pounds.
Yeah.
And people are like, no. And I'm like, no, seriously, my arm's not big enough to do justice.
Eat the arms.
Yeah, well, I mean, the tail on them is bigger than your arm there, and you're like, my gosh, this one thing. We had 4 of them. The guys were diving. They brought up 4. We put 2 in one side of the sink, 2 in the other, and they were hanging out. They looked like the 4 horsemen of the apocalypse. It was just insane. We filled a bowl full of lobster meat this big, and it was 12 of us. We ate as much as we could. The next morning, they were using the leftover lobster to go fishing. It's incredible.
Well, we would do. We'd crush them up.
Yeah.
And the hogfish love that. All of a sudden, they just show
up. Oh, yeah. And then you shoot the fish.
Shoot the fish. And then we bring them up here, and then we eat them.
Then you eat them.
Yeah.
It's the circle of life,
You actually eat pretty damn good up here.
Well, I don't know. Let's see. Maybe. Last night I had steak, fresh caught fish.
Wait, though.
Brooklyn pizza. What else was it? I had all 4 of the things. It was
good drinks too.
Oh yeah.
But wait, though. Let's go back because I can't say you've probably eaten good up here. Like, what's the longest you've spent out here?
6 months.
So how did that diet go? Not by yourself though.
Well, it should have been, but it was not.
6 months is a long freaking time.
Yeah, it was a very challenging time in my life. It was very stressful, but and I lost about 15 pounds just due to stress, I think.
Yeah.
It's funny because I felt, I feel great, I look great, and everyone would be like, "Are you?"
What do you think? You think the tower helped out a lot? You know?
Oh yeah, because I could pick up a large hammer and beat the crap out of the tower rather than causing harm to anything else.
Yeah, but I guess a stress reliever.
It is. And 6 months later, I was like, I'm ready to go back to land.
Yeah.
But it's funny, after just a week or two, you don't wear a watch.
Yeah.
You don't know what day it is.
No, it's nice.
And you're just living through seasons.
Yeah.
And you're going, wow, that had to be what it was like a couple hundred years ago. You didn't pay attention.
No, yeah. Living through seasons is definitely because now I feel like March? We're just getting into back into okay, calm weather, time to get to work, right?
Yeah. Well, we never stopped.
You never stop.
Yeah, we've been here all year round for the last several years. And even when it's really cold, flip on the mini splits and the Mitsubishi, it's like, wow.
Back to what we were talking about earlier, so full HVAC, air, heating and air.
Yeah. Super efficient too. God,
gas tanks crazy. For gas stove.
Oh yeah, yeah. Got propane for that and for the instant hot water.
They can't take that out here either.
Yeah.
Are they trying to do that?
I don't know.
Anyways,
other side of the world.
So yeah, that, and then what else you got going on out here? Solar. So almost. What do you got? 90% solar?
We actually, when we're not here, it's 100%. And when we're here, we usually, depending on how much we're doing, we usually have about 2/3 solar, but then we crank on a bunch of stuff, welding and things like that. Obviously, we just fire up a generator. But we have in there right now half of the new solar that we're putting on here.
And we just brought in a lot of stuff.
26 panels, a bunch of steel, a bunch of stainless, and I got a chance to learn how to weld stainless and how to. Got a mill and a lathe, and it is all work. No, it's just a great man cave, basically.
You love it though.
Oh, I adore it. Yeah. A chance to meet people, learn new things, and
I'm looking forward to learning how to weld. That's a trade I wish I went. But like you said, you don't need to go to school for it.
And like you said, you can go to school, and there's a real value in making the right kind of welds for the right kind of equipment. But if you're doing something, it's like, hey, I need to put 2 pieces of metal together because I'm going to make a bench for my garage. Yeah, we can do that. We might do it, in here an hour.
Maybe I would love to.
It's easy. It's easy. Plasma torch. And then things that you would not have expected, I would not have, is how to manage and manipulate creating a video stream, how to create the internet connection, how to create an underwater camera that's not going to corrode or be torn off by the waves.
Yeah.
How to get this information into the classrooms of students so they can go, oh, look, there's the sharks. They were naming the sharks.
And how to study weather, too.
Oh, yeah.
I think some of the colleges use it, right?
Yeah, we have the Davis Weather Station up here. We pass that information nationally. We have the wave and current data that we pass out for free nationally. And and eye into the water. See, you can pull up your chart and you'll see it all here. But you can pull up the belly camera and go, yeah, that's about 2 foot on 5 seconds.
Yeah.
We're good.
That's awesome. Yeah, I just admire so much how much you've put in. I say it all the time, but I mean, you walk around this place like, damn, he's got this, he's got that. Yeah, I mean, and how the hell you got all this stuff up here too?
Hand by hand, lift by lift, boat by boat,
boat by boat.
Like yours.
That's a whole nother ball game, and you can't just you got to choose the weather too. You can't do it every day.
Yeah, you think of it this way: if I was to go to your house and say, what are you working on? Oh, I'm building a back deck. I'm pretty sure you could go to the store, get the materials you need, go back to your house, put in your anchors, do all those things, go in and eat lunch, come back out next day, and you could just do it.
Yeah.
You might even do it in a weekend. Out here, it's like, I need to weld that corner over there, but I can't because I don't have 3 extra people to keep me safe.
Yep.
Or the winds are going, or it's going to rain. So instead, I'm going to work on the steel in this particular area because it's inside. And if I can't do that, maybe I don't have enough fuel. Then I'll come in here and I'll work on some of the electronics or.
Yeah. Yeah. The electronics.
One of the things I just picked up is I'm now licensed for ham radio.
Yeah. And you just did your safety training too for.
Yeah, I got certified to do what I've done all my life, and that is climb tall towers and do the rigging, and importantly, how to rescue people.
Didn't they make you do that too? Or?
They said if I wanted to keep climbing the tower, that then I needed to play by the rules.
Play by the rules. Especially if it's going to be on camera.
Yeah, there is, in my mind, I feel as comfortable right here as I do either a couple thousand feet up on a tower, just hanging off of a cable, or 50 feet under, or powered paragliding, or flying planes.
You got balls. I went down under the belly yesterday, and I can't imagine when you first got here. And had to go down there and you know,
things kept just falling out from underneath us.
Yeah. And if you go down, you're done pretty much. Oh, they mean, unless, if you hit water, you'd be all right.
That's exactly right. If like, you don't want to fall down and hit the pipes that are down there, like another 50 feet down, and be like, oh, that did. It's like in one of those comic books where they're like, he falls and he goes boom, and then he slips off of it, right? Yeah. So yeah, here they call it falling with style.
It's. I'll be honest with you. You know, it's bad under there.
Oh, it's horrible.
Yeah,
it's horrible, and that's the thing.
It's scary as shit. Me and Drew were going down there, and like,
you're like, can we even be here, right?
Yeah, I mean, but I can see where you band-aided it, and
right, and you can also go and how long will this last, and does he know what the hell he's doing? So I was really blessed with some aspect of engineering. From study, from training, and also from over a decade of building, adding, and watching things age.
Yeah.
Because you can actually go, okay, the stress is here. See, I would not want to be in a few areas on this tower during a big storm. And it might not be because it's going to bend or crash, but because something could fall off and just take me right out.
Yeah. Well, like you said, too.
I got a big scar here from one of them, you know?
Well, you were talking about yesterday, like, it's more the tension and the shock, right? Like,
yeah.
I mean.
If you look at an attic of a standard house, you'll see that it's got a truss.
Yep.
And the truss has got this, but what keeps the house from collapsing is there's tension across the bottom. Otherwise, it just fall down. And so if you cut this bottom piece, that house is going to collapse. We have a truss system here. The top I-beams are 24 inches tall, and they're beautiful and heavy duty. The pipes come down, and then they get to a very thin and fragile I-beam, where the pipes going down to it are very thin and fragile. So we have to add on to that area and create an additional tension just to help maintain it.
So right now, I think that's your number one concern?
Yeah. And it's hard to say, what's my number one, you know? The cross pipes down by the water, the walkways, you know, you can't take care of one and forget the fact that someone can step into an area that's dangerous.
Yeah, you got to fix that too.
Yeah. So it's kind of like having kids. Yeah, you got to juggle it all at once and say, all right, hey, Johnny, don't eat that. That's off the floor, you know, or whatever.
I'm just, you know, I'm really excited that we could be part of this raffle, and I think a lot of people are excited too.
I don't think people understand, why would they do a raffle? Don't they get government money?
Oh, no, you don't get anything, and which you should, in my opinion, or how much people are using it. That's just my opinion.
Well, you know, and it could be my ignorance on not being smart enough to be able to get it. We are outside of America here.
Yeah.
Our nonprofit is federally registered out of North Carolina. We probably could get some grants. Volunteers that write grants. Come on. And
seriously, if anybody wants to volunteer and
yeah, we really need all kinds of skills.
Yeah,
we really do.
And that's our thought process. Like, let's just make you know, we got a big following. Let's just make the raffle $10 entry. You can enter as many times as you want.
It's your idea, and I loved it.
You can enter as many times as you want, and then come out here and spend, you know, a couple days out here. You get food. We'll go diving.
Oh man,
shoot some
it's gonna
guns.
Be so much fun.
Biodegradable golf balls.
Yeah,
man. I think, you know, we can at least raise a little bit of money and keep doing this throughout, you know.
Yeah. Well, then people are always like, well, nonprofit, you must have a huge salary. I make less now than I worked at Home Depot.
Yeah.
And I only did that because of COVID. So it's not about money. After you get to a certain age, if you are really thinking about it, it's not about what you have. It's really about, how do I give this away in a way that helps others?
Yeah.
So
and hand it down.
Push it out to the next. And it's not about, hey, kids, take this over. I don't own it anymore.
Yeah.
I gave away all of my ownership.
Yeah, you gave it away, right?
There's 10 owners. Ended up marrying one of the ladies who has some of the ownership. I'm like, I still don't want it. Go away. Not her, the ownership. And my goal really is, how do I get guys like you excited about it so that I want to come out here in 10 years and I want to go fishing?
Yeah, I'm fired
and
up.
you're going to be over there welding on something.
Kids out here and,
you know, that's exactly right. Because people have very little idea what's actually under the water.
Well, they're not.
You just don't
building
know.
These. You know, I mean, they're building oil rigs, but that's not a place like this.
It was a great example for this one. This one looks like an oil rig because it was based on it.
Yeah, I forgot about that.
Yeah, but it's not an oil rig. Never was. Instead, it's a box that's a house of approximately 6,000 square feet that was for like 5 or 6 young men at the time. And they basically had to just keep it operational, everything analog.
I bet they had a blast out here.
They did, and then after they got bored, it was horrible. So imagine that. You know, they only had over-the-air TV. I imagine that it was very exciting on, you know, in the afternoons or evenings on the weekend. You usually watch Bonanza or
back to the history.
All that stuff.
Was it like when this place was first built and everybody, like the public, knew about it? Was it a big deal?
No,
I mean, they didn't.
No, as a matter of fact, you and I both know this, that there's shipping lanes right over here with ships going past all the time. Vast majority of people on dirt have no clue about that. They just think it's magic. And they have no clue when they're going from New York down to Miami that they're flying right over us 30 miles offshore. You look up at night and you're like, planes are going back and forth, jets up 5 miles up there. And you're like, hi, guys.
That blows my mind at night.
And they don't even know we're here.
You would think it would be like a big deal back in the day, like this, you know.
Well, if you remember right, there was this thing called JFK, MLK, Land on the Moon, riots, Vietnam War, hippies. So it kind of got lost.
Yeah.
It's a good time to be a young man.
Last night, it was really cool, and you timed it perfectly. I think I finally like fell asleep around 2:30.
I was probably talking.
But right around as soon as that moon went down.
Oh yeah,
that's the best time to be.
And
there.
It was like, bam.
Yeah, bam, shooting stars everywhere.
Right,
air traffic like crazy.
Yeah, hello to your Milky Way.
And you're
Big Dipper, North Star, Polaris.
Yeah. And
that's crazy.
Wait, you can communicate with air traffic too, right?
Oh yeah, we can just call them and talk to them, and which is really flips them out when you see them.
I can imagine.
And you watch them on Flight Tracker.
Yeah.
So you know who it is.
Yeah.
So you can go, hey, American Heavy, this Frying Pan Tower. How do you copy? Who? And I'm like, yeah, look down. I'm about 5 miles below you. They're like, really? And they don't have to talk to anyone else. And of course, everyone gets a big kick out of it.
It's like, hey, wake up.
I'll call the vessels out there because we know who they are too. Yeah. But they're almost always foreign language speakers, and like, I don't know why you're calling me. Go away.
Yeah, like, not a friendly reaction.
That's cool. If you need my help, let me know. I'll send out, jet ski.
I learned something cool this weekend was how when I was looking at the air traffic, I'm like, man, there's 5 planes here. Another 5 minutes go by. There's another 6 or 7 planes. Like you mentioned, they're flying groups, and it's such common sense for the most luggage, right?
Yeah, it's all about get all of the bags together from all the connecting flights, so you can go throw all the bags, move all the bags. Now we all take off again.
Yeah. It's bizarre. That was one thing. Like I said, I'm like, man.
And they could do it differently, but if one does it differently, then they actually have less opportune schedules than everyone else. They don't get business. And airlines have a stupidly thin margin, even though they do a huge amount of money.
Airlines are a mess right now.
Well, they've always been.
Well, yeah, you would know.
I worked for American Airlines for 10 years.
You've done it all.
Well, I'm still learning.
Yeah, I know you
There's a bunch of stuff that I still don't know.
But so, man, like, ultimately, like, we know, what is your ultimate goal? Like, what do you want to see here in the next 5 years?
We need to get these major projects done. We need to have somebody that says, you know what, I've been looking for someplace good to place some of the money that I have for whatever blessing is my life, and then be able to see. We do a 990 like other nonprofits do, and you can see here's what they're spending their money on. Everything that we pour into.
Do you notice more people trying to get involved?
Yeah, and I think a lot of it has to do. Part of the reason I even stepped into social is, I love camera. Hello, guys. But it's also because this is the direction that gets to people's minds.
Nobody watches the news anymore. They're all on their phones.
Well, the news is all about listen to what I believe.
Exactly.
Not here's what's actually happening.
Yeah.
So you use a lot of social where people are saying, from my viewpoint, I'm seeing this happen. What do you think about it? And the truth gets out.
Yeah.
And I think for us, it was, if you understand that this is not about me, and your business is not about you.
No.
It's all about how do we do a betterment, make people safer, teach them about the ocean. Then they contribute.
I could have easily just kept on doing what I'm doing, but I was like, this is why though. Like, let's utilize this tool.
Yeah.
And I think you're doing the same thing. Like, you could come out here and just make it a man cave where you party all the time, but you're not.
There's a gentleman that has one of the ones that's falling apart. And nobody goes out there. He doesn't bring many volunteers, and that's his choice. But that one's going to fall in the ocean.
Yeah.
And this one might too. Don't get me wrong. We could have a Cat 5 and it'd be gone, and it'd be like, did you get the beer out of the fridge?
That's why we got to get to work. And I know you're you're doing more than people even realize. And that's something I want to get out to the public right now as we speak. Like, you don't know until you get out here and realize, like, holy shit, they got. I mean,
the last one going to bed and the first one up.
Yeah, you are. You're up at like, I think 3:45 this morning. I heard the TV going.
And sorry about that. I think I woke someone up on the couch.
You had your coffee going.
Yeah, and
I love watching them do the coffee in the morning.
and trust me, I would love to get 8 hours sleep, but I wake up with a sense of excitement.
So you told me
urgency.
you sleep? You have kind of you fall asleep real
I
quick.
fall asleep. I have sleep somnia, which means that I can fall asleep anytime, anywhere for 30 minutes, and then someone will go, Richard, and I go, yes, and I'm
But
back
you're
on.
back and ready to rock and roll. I wish I had. I can't sleep worth a damn.
I just promise you, I don't do that while driving.
Yeah, I hope not.
Richard, I'm driving. No.
Yeah, or pulling up the winch on there. Or what.
Yeah. And the aspect of that is something that people that have a little bit of ADD also do anyway. But we all play to our strengths.
I've got it pretty bad. I always like.
There's medication.
I can't take that shit.
I'm messing with you.
My problem is I get so excited because there's so many different things I want to do, and then I'm like, I sometimes don't get anything done.
Yeah, I will tell you that from a similar viewpoint, few decades ahead, complete one, pick it, complete it, and that helps motivate you to complete the next. Make list, write it down.
Yeah.
And it's funny, it's hard for me to make a list.
Yeah.
Because I don't like the act of writing or typing. I use write on wipe off boards because it's just, there it is. No,
I've been doing this weird thing.
I love that. It's so good.
I've been doing this weird thing and it's been kind of working. I'll email myself.
Yeah.
I think I told you. Well. So that way it's unread. And then once it's read, boom, check that one off the list.
How many emails you get every day?
A lot. You should see how many messages we get a day.
Cool.
Yesterday was the first day I went live on social media, and today, this morning. And people loved it.
How'd you like it? It's fun.
I think it's good,
fun,
man.
Isn't it?
I think
it connects you.
People really they want to see this place. I think they did get a good taste of it. But I really hope you get more volunteers, more people that also they can pay to come out here. Right?
Yeah. We do eco-tourists. And that's, hey, I don't really want to work on anything, but I want to come out and I want to enjoy it. And I want to help you. We've kept the same rate for the last 3.5 years. And it's like $15.50 per person. Mm-hmm. People are like, why would you charge so much? I can go to Europe. I'm like, yeah, but you can get to Europe on an airplane for a third of the price of a boat ride out here. Boat rides out here
are expensive.
Our
helicopter rides are expensive.
Yeah.
And not only that, I mean.
And you are traveling like 50 miles, give or take, each way. So.
And you're feeding everybody too?
Oh, yeah. We feed them all. They get out here and I'm like, got your toothbrush, you're good to go.
Yeah.
So. And that's important because someone doesn't want to get out here and go, you don't have toilet paper? Yeah, we'll dunk you in the ocean.
A beautiful washer and dryer you just got. I mean,
and of course,
it's not shitty up here.
And we got them used, which means we replaced the bearings in them, and for $100 each, we have these great ones that are very efficient.
This is how my brain runs. Just this past year, maybe I think, didn't you get the Coast Guard out here for the first time in like 30, 40 years?
Unbelievably. When they walked off the tower and said, we're done, we got to close it out, I think that was like officially in 2002.
Yeah.
And there was a group of them out here. They were in one of their big running boats from right over here at Coswell Beach. And I wasn't even here. It was insane.
You weren't here?
I wasn't here. I had gone back to land.
Were you pissed?
And I was.
Yeah,
and one of the guys here, he's like, why don't you guys come on up? And he goes, let me check with the chief. Chief says we can come up. And we hoisted them up. They walked around. They got pictures. And I'm like, unbelievable. But I'm really excited. I can announce this. There are some of the Coast Guard guys that are going to re-enlist on the helipad here in the next month.
That's awesome.
I'm super excited.
Let me know. Maybe I'll try to get out here and film something.
It'd be great. I've got to clean it off. I've got to paint the helipad. It's like, I got to do all this stuff just to get it so they can do it. And, we really want to honor the fact that when you and I go fall in the water, they're going to haul our butts out of there and save our asses.
Same with that new scooter thing you got too. That was fun.
Yeah, we look for a way to make it easier. Right? Yeah, use safe. And I talked them into letting us get one out here. We bought it. We paid money for it. And they're going to have a local distributor. It's a ridiculously long name, and I've asked them to change their name.
And for those listening, it's like a...
Yeah, so let me grab it.
Yeah, you want to grab it?
Let me grab it.
Do you have time to grab it real quick?
He'll edit it out if you don't want it.
Yeah.
I'm going to store my bag.
No, it was cool. I rode it yesterday. We were hauling ass. Yeah, no, it's basically a scooter, which they call like for divers, but it's like a float with electric motors on it that you can toss over the tower at Richard, over 80, 100 feet. It's still throw it 100 feet into the water down. It's fine, and he can control the remote and go grab somebody and bring him back.
The funny thing is it's not a toy.
Here, come in this way.
Yeah, I'll try not to knock the cameras out of the way. So it's not a toy, like, hey, it's not a C-Bob or any of that thing. It is instead really designed to say, you know what, we need to go get this person.
Yeah.
Where do you want it? Right up here, big in front of her.
Yeah, no.
There you go.
Sure, you got it on here? This thing was, yeah, and he got lights too. Oh, perfect. So it's charging now. It'll take me back to the boat because I'm not swimming that far.
Yeah.
All right, beautiful.
So it uses this little handheld that I can sit there and drive it.
Yeah.
From up here right to a person in the water, or like when I got you from the boat yesterday. I don't know, 600 feet away.
Yeah.
You grabbed a hold of it, and I just drove you right back. So if you got someone that's close to the rocks by shore, and you really need to rescue them, the Coast Guard guys, if I can convince them to get one, they'll just take it and throw it at water and drive it over to the guy, pull him away from the rocks, back to the boat.
I was messing with it, and you can control which direction it goes, but I found it almost, I was able to steer it. Yeah. Who else wrote it? Did Coleman, you wrote it, right?
How's your drink there?
Oh, you're good. You're good.
I wrote it, yeah.
Did you ride it?
Yeah.
Yeah. Did you feel like you could steer it?
Yeah. Great.
How many miles are you gonna go?
They say it'll go about 3 miles away, but you wouldn't be able to see anybody.
Yeah.
So, as far as you can see to actually control it. And the cool thing is, in my opinion, is if I just set this down and ignore it in a couple minutes, it'll go, okay, standby mode.
Yeah.
So it uses a mag charger, so you don't have to unbolt or unclip or turn it on.
Mm-hmm.
As soon as you pop it off its little stand, you throw it off. We threw it off of here 70 feet, just tossed it into the water.
Totally fine.
I was tripping. I was like, oh, is this going to work? But they
shout out to these guys. U-Safe.
U-Safe. They're actually out of Portugal.
Portugal?
Yeah.
Maybe I'll try to find them on social media and tag them in this because it was pretty cool.
Well, like I said, they got a distributor. They told me they were going to have their website up this week. I'm like, great. We'll just list it with this. It's easy, right?
Yeah.
But I think it's probably...
I have no...
This is a lot faster than trying to get the jet ski down, get it in the water, and go get someone who's like, hey, he's already drowned.
I have no doubt in my mind this will save a life in the next... So. Oh, it's crazy, man. I mean, I hate to say it like this, but and you see it all the time. We've seen it. We saw it last night.
Yeah.
People are freaking dumb. I'm sorry. I'm just going to be straight up honest. Like...
Darwin was right about one thing.
Yeah.
Natural selection.
Yeah. There's just these little tiny boats come running out here, which is,
we saw,
whatever. If you feel
17-foot skiff out here?
Yeah.
35 miles, 34 miles offshore?
20, 25 at night, too.
I know. I was like, what is wrong with this person?
I think I saw it, yeah. I mean...
Last week, we had one guy in a smaller skiff.
Yeah.
He had a big old gas tank, so he's good. And I'm like, no.
And the shitty part is, too, they put others at risk because now... They only have a VHF or a handheld VHF.
Radio.
Yeah.
It's only good for maybe 8 miles.
And they're relying on you. And don't put the pressure on you. I mean, luckily you're up here,
I was watching.
Yeah. Oh, no, I know you are.
And we're like, all right, is he going to make it home?
No matter, I feel like majority of the boats that pass by here, you very friendly and communicate with.
Yeah. And strange thing is I'll go out there, cup of coffee. I'm like, hey, how's it going? They're like, Richard, how you doing?
Yeah.
I'm like, I don't know who you are. But that's awesome. I did make the mistake one morning. There was a boat right out here. Had my coffee. I'll open up the door. I'm walking out there. I see the boat, and I'm going, hey, good morning, everybody. And 2 ladies were taking care of business off the back end. They just about fell in because they didn't expect to be saying, it's a full moon today.
Yeah. There's people up here.
70 feet away, it was nothing to be seen. Less than you see on the beach.
Yeah.
But especially
I've talked to quite a few people in the Coast Guard, and they're like, it's just something. And with Cito, when I worked with Cito.
Standby mode.
Did it shut off?
Yeah, it's going, okay.
Yeah, because I had it on yesterday. I was like, is this going to just drain the battery?
It's like a Springer Spaniel. Okay.
Yeah.
No, it'll set like that for a month.
Oh, yeah?
It's crazy. The battery in there is like this big, lithium, and it's smart. So anyway.
No, back to what I was talking to the Coast Guard, and even when I worked with Cito, it was like, these people, and like I said, I'm trying to say this the nicest way possible, but the lack of education is because there's nobody they don't have to learn anything to go drive a boat. You can just grab the keys.
Just need money?
Yeah, you just need money, yeah. And it puts like a lot of the captains at risk. Like Cito and towboat, like unless boats are under immediate distress,
right,
we go grab them.
Right.
And we have to make that call at the inlet. Yes. Am I going or am I not going?
That's right.
It puts a lot of pressure on us because it's like, you got to go with your gut, And even if it maybe was totally good to go, you made the right call. There's somebody out there that's looking.
There's some stuff that people don't recognize. I mean, same thing. We go through our lives. When I walk into that grocery store, I don't worry about whether or not the vegetables have diseases on them. I figure that we're taking care of that. I don't buy a thing of milk and expect to open up and have it be sour. You know, people take care of that. I turn on the lights on land. I expect them to come on.
Yeah, yeah.
I want to go over to the mailbox and I want to be able to pull out my mail.
Yeah.
You know, we all work really hard to make that happen in America, that in many other countries, until you go there, you're like, oh,
yeah,
this doesn't exist.
I know.
Or I have to pay this guy to stay safe.
Or exactly. Yeah. You're not getting through here. Hey.
Yeah.
You know,
there's a lot of that. You want to get that permit?
Yeah.
Well, then that better happen.
Yeah.
You know, so we don't do that here. Or maybe we do, but
well, not out here.
Majority we don't.
Yeah.
And I do think that we have something unique in this part of the world that maybe the young kids don't even know. I mean, if they don't know whether or not they're a guy or gal, then how are they going to know whether or not we got it good, right?
That's right.
I just said silly.
It's insane.
Yeah. You give me one cough, I can tell you if he's a guy.
It's insane. What we should ask computer.
Ooh, that'd be a good question.
Rich has got this whole, it's basically controlled. I mean, not control, but you can control a lot of things off this AI system that you have.
Yeah, pretty much.
Well, lights.
Yeah, lights.
Heating and air.
Yeah.
Music.
Oh, yeah.
What else?
No, I mean,
it's pretty incredible. First time I come up here, he's like, yeah, turn the helipad lights on and put Frank Sinatra on.
Yeah.
We lit up a cigar and enjoyed it.
Yeah, it was pretty cool. Yeah, it's pretty much all the home automation stuff with a little bit of minor tweaking, so you can do some fun stuff.
See, besides just that kind of stuff, though, I mean, you're so tech savvy. I'll show people the video of your whole battery system you got going on in there.
It's gonna be so much fun.
Yeah, but I would lose my mind doing that. I don't know. You gotta have patience.
Well,
I feel like
there might have been a few sparks occasionally, you know. It's like,
have you gotten lit up out here?
Well, you know, it's funny. Someone said, "Have you smoked anything yet?" And I'm like, "What do you mean?" And then I connected some wires incorrectly, and this beautiful, expensive box went, and a little smoke came up, and I'm like, "I made smoke signals." Not good.
That's gonna be your biggest fear out here is a fire.
No, surprisingly, I mean, it's metal.
Yeah, that's true. But
and behind it, it's fiberglass. And yeah, if we had a fire in here, it's fiberglass ceiling. I would say we just go to the upwind side and wait, and it'll burn out. I mean, there's not much you could actually catch on fire here, actually.
On a boat, that's the captain's biggest fear.
I would expect so, yeah. So having gone down on a boat that caught on fire and sank, it's a little nerve-wracking.
Especially you guys that are bringing out fuel.
Oh, yeah, we had 55.
We were talking about this yesterday.
We had 55 gallons of fuel on the boat that burnt way back then, and we had a 100-pound propane tank. And we pitched them both over.
Fuck that.
But the captain, that charter captain, that particular one, when he finally Maydayed, because I ran into the burning cabin and grabbed the radio that he forgot to get and brought it out. Here you go. And he, Mayday. I hear him talking, but I'm not paying attention. But he said, yeah, we threw 55 gallons of gasoline in propane tank. And the captain that came to help us, he wouldn't get within 100 feet of us.
Yeah, I don't blame
Because he's
him.
like, I'm sorry, guys. You can
jump in the
swim.
water. Yeah.
Yeah. And when I got on his boat, and I said, why didn't you come up next to us? It's 57 degrees.
Yeah.
Well, I won't get next to that fuel. And I'm like, it wasn't on the boat.
Yeah. Ugh.
You learn. I've learned that you do not take your laptop ever over the water unless it's in a waterproof case.
Oh, yeah. Had that go down.
Well, very soggy.
We all, I tell a lot of people on Qualified Captain, like, we've all been there. We've all made the mistakes. You learn from those mistakes.
Yeah.
And don't take it personally. A lot of it can be prevented of some time and education and
just get smart.
Yeah, yeah. What I don't know, maybe a dumb question, but like, what's one of the biggest mistakes you've made out here that you've learned a really tough lesson where you're like, shit, I cannot do that again?
Well, probably the nearly drowning, jumping in the water without the life jackets, of which I had many. That was a good one. I think that in most places on land or on the ocean or on a boat or in here is communication.
Mm-hmm.
Expectations and communication prevent a lot of accidents.
Mm-hmm.
If the captain knows that you're going to lift the bag, if the people know that you should be on shore at a certain time, if the captain that can't find his divers communicates right away rather than 4 hours later, while I'm still here, I can go get those divers.
Yeah.
But if I don't know about it, I've already gone back to land.
Communication saves lives.
Communication saves lives.
Yeah.
And admit mistakes quick.
Yeah.
It's much better.
Oh yeah. Don't let the ego get into you.
No.
You know.
I mean, we're all stupid.
That's something I see all the time. That's kind of how Qualified Captain started. I mean, I was working at Bradley Creek Marina.
Yeah.
And I would see all these new boat owners, especially during COVID. A lot of people bought a boat and they had not a clue. And I would offer to go help. And, you know, we all would. That was our job. You know, like, hey,
you don't want them to burn up an engine because they just left it running on the back
that,
of the trailer.
Or can I teach you how to back it up one day? Hopefully get maybe a $20 tip. Love to do it.
Yeah.
No. I know what I'm doing. I've
got this.
Like, get out of here. I'd go in the dock office and laugh. And all right. I don't know. It's just...
Why do you think they put the bumpers now on the ramps? So when they're banging into it on their way down, it's not tearing all the wood off.
The boat ramp's a whole nother story. And that's a whole other topic I could talk about. Down in Miami, I've talked to a couple insurance companies. And they say a lot of it's become like insurance fraud for your cars or your trucks. They get all these brand new trucks and
they go slide it.
Yeah. Oops, parking brake didn't work or something.
Oh, gosh.
Oh.
Yeah, you have a different world on that. Out here, you know, we have the hoist. We have the power. Well, let's go ahead and have a second hoist, and let's have redundant power. So yeah, it's all the same thing.
Yeah.
So do you think they're asleep yet?
Coleman's over there now. So what? We got a boogie, man. We got a there's the weather's. What's it look like right now?
I don't know. You can go look at the weather
station. Drew, can you read it from us right now?
Or you can check it from home. By the way, all of our data
is
available
right now?
Online.
20 knots? That's not bad. But it is supposed to get nasty here around noon.
If you got 20 right now, it will be soon.
Yeah.
But it's coming from what direction?
South.
Yeah. So it's
following sea all the way back.
There you go.
So, but no, Richard, I really want to see something like I want to see serious progress in the next 5 years, which I think we can do. And I think if we do these serious projects and have people help out, I think you can get another out of this
easily another 20 years. No question at all.
Yeah.
This thing, just following the path we're going right now, is well beyond me.
Yeah.
Not my skill set, my years.
Yeah.
Unless I live to be about 90.
With that being said, I hope that everybody listening can check out our raffle. It's on our website. We're giving away a monthly winner. So if that's just a day trip out here and they come out with me, and you can enter as many times as you want, $10. And then the grand prize winner is going to win.
So trip for 4.
Yeah, trip for 4.
For a 3-day weekend.
Yep. Free. You're going to get food, a private chef out here.
Personal chef. I mean, you're going to be like eating like a king.
And I'll take you guys diving, fishing for the day. Yeah. We could hit some golf balls and shoot some guns.
And on that one, they have the choice if they want to. They can just come out by helicopter. We've got that
too.
Donated.
Yeah.
And that's a sweet 20-minute ride. There's no bouncing around.
Yeah.
And then once you're here, you'd be like, hey, Captain, can we go fishing?
Yeah.
Can we go diving?
Yep.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. No, so definitely check it out. And so thank you guys for everybody who has already contributed. You know, I mean, I think we're kind of on the right path and
we're getting there.
Yeah. So we got some work to do though.
Very grateful.
Yeah.
That's right.
Richard. Thank you, man.
My friend.
I appreciate this, dude.
Be safe.
Cool.
When you get back to shore, you can let this old man know you made it safe.
I will.
All right.
Absolutely, man.
Okay.
Cool.
Then I'll drink your beer.
He's drinking all.